live after till the end of the month. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen from the Bio World and the fresh produce community in Spain and worldwide. We are now starting the third and last session of the BioFruit Congress, which is a third international congress um, debating on the future of organics markets, organic demand, and other sustainable labels that more and more the consumer is demanding today. We are, of course, celebrating it online, live, like Fruit Attraction Expo, since during considering the sanitary limitations, but we are reaching a greater audience than on during a live on stage a session during the exhibition of close to 400 participants between the three days of sessions and more via YouTube. You can watch on YouTube. The video will be available until the end of the month on the Fruit Attraction platform. I'd like to thank you, the organizer of Fruit Attraction, to provide the most interactive platform for the fresh producing industry, and we're all experimenting it for the first year, and it will be exciting to have it active all year next year from January 1st, as you announced. I'd like to thank you for the audience and and for the speakers to share your experience and development with breeding and value chain cooperation with the retail, because this is all about it. Without good varieties, we cannot generate value for the growers, the distributor, and satisfy better the consumer. And our goal is to sustain organic market growth for the next 10, 15 years. This is about what we're debating. And yesterday we had an interesting discussion, yeah, about other value chains like zero residue, permaculture, carbon neutral products. Consumers are demanding not only healthy benefits, but also more environmental friendly varieties. They're worried more and more about the climate, not only about their health and then their convenience. So the objective of today's session is how to improve organic value chain by boosting cooperation between the breeders and the retail, in the varietal companies and the supermarket chains, specialized or a large scale supermarket chain. For this, so we will have a 1 hour presentation with 3 speakers and half an hour panel discussion. We'll have to close it at 4:30 because after there are other sessions live at the Fruit Attraction. The first speaker will be Maria Teresa Lázaro, from breeding expert at FIBL, who will detail how organic breeding can bring more value to the entire chain. Then we'll have Carlo Müller from Ecor Natura Seeds. He's a supermarket chain manager, supply manager of fresh produce of Ecor Natura Seeds, which is the main supermarket chain in Italy. And then we're more than 200 stores. And then we'll have you will share how to improve quality in retail with better cooperation with the breeding, and how they are integrating most parts of the supply chain as well. This is the most interesting part also of your presentation. Then we'll have Holger Schappenberg, vegetable breeder at the BNN, the Bundesverband Naturkost Naturwaren from Germany, who will detail German market requirements for vegetable varieties that are free from self-fusion breeding technology, which means mainly bred the traditional way of crossing. Then Christoph Lochinger, regional and German market manager of Vitalis, which is the organic division of Enza Zaden. He will share success stories with the new organic varieties and consumer brands. And now to quickly here in my slides, I with the program. and with time at 3:15, 3:30, 3:45, and at 4 p.m. 4 to 4:30 the debate. Just three words on Eurofresh. We have a leading global coverage of the fresh produce markets, particularly with the retail sector, the emerging markets, and value chains like organic. And we're circulated paper with 10,000 copies and digitally with 7,000 subscribers to our weekly newsletters on 80 markets worldwide. And now I'm inviting the first speaker, Maria Teresa, to to share your screen and start your presentation, please, from FIBL. Maria Teresa from FIBL.
Good afternoon. I'm very glad to open this panel discussion on the importance of organic breeding for the organic value chain. As we all know, the European agriculture sector has great challenges ahead in order to be able to achieve the targets regarding sustainable food production in Europe, which were placed by the Farm to Fork strategy of the European Commission. Basically, said in one sentence, the European Commission is asking if we have the appetite for change, and the organic sector definitely has the appetite, but also the potential to contribute very strongly to the achievement of such targets. With the coming years, there is a strong potential of growth for the organic sector, and this comes with a great challenge for the organic farming, which is to grow while being able to respond to the demand from the organic consumers of quality and integrity of the products, of having regional products, and to have products which allow a very diverse and nutritious diet. In order to achieve such objective, organic sector really needs organic breeding. The reasons why the organic sector needs breeding in order to keep such demands are really multiple. Said very shortly, the current situation in plant breeding really places the integrity of the organic sector at stake. With this, I mean that we have a very strong restriction of genetic agrobiodiversity, which is available for the organic farmers. And issues like patenting of organic organisms and the strong concentration of the seed market, it's very concerning. And the large conventional breeders very often work on few key large crops with a focus on high input conventional agriculture. This means that the outcoming varieties from such programs are very often not suitable for the specific conditions of organic farming. But still, those type of varieties account for 90% of what is used in organic farming. We also see that more and more the methods which are used in conventional breeding do not comply with the IFAM guidelines for organic farming. And we will hear a bit more about one case in our following presentation. As well, the organic sector really needs specific breeding for organic agriculture in order to have a continuous adaptation of the cultivars to the changing environment. Basically, what the organic sector demands in terms of crop cultivars is to have cultivars from a large number of crops, also including minor crops, neglected crops, which are very important for diversity use and exploitation. And cultivars which are really adapted to organic farms, which deliver high but mostly important stable yields and good quality, even under low input conditions. In organic agriculture, it's very important the use of diversity at different levels, and that's why it's required for the organic breeding to really specifically focus on highly genetically diverse cultivars, on cultivar mixtures, on mixed cropping. As well, the sector requires GMO-free cultivars, including new genetic engineering techniques. And it's very important for the organic sector to have and maintain and conserve access to GMO-free genetic resources. In one sentence, organic breeding, it's the sector that delivers varieties that are reproducible, robust, yield stable, and locally adapted and tasteful for the organic production. The way in which the organic sector actually benefits from organic breeding is because organic breeding, as I said, respects the values and principle of organic sector and does not include any critical method which is not allowed by IFAM standards. Organic breeding takes into account the need of organic farmers, processors, traders, and customers in order really to deliver cultivars which are suitable for cultivation under organic conditions. And organic breeding is itself a research and development sector which has to grow together with the growth of the organic sector in order to have a good basis for a self-determined and independent organic sector. So as you see, the benefits of organic breeding really spread all along the value chain, which means that the investment which is needed for the growth of organic breeding in order to fill the gap of missing cultivars for the organic farmers, it's really something that should be done in a partnership, in a collaboration along all the value chain. We already have quite a few interesting cases of value chain collaborations which are put in place in order to promote and boost organic breeding. Here I bring a couple of cases. For example, the fair breeding initiative in which the company Naturata provides 0.3% of the net sales on fruit and vegetables in order to promote and finance organic breeding in the fair breeding project. Or the organic sunflower seed initiative, where organic associations, processors, retailers have joined forces in order to support breeders to develop non-hybrid oleic sunflowers cultivars. We also have already cases in which a whole sector at large level join forces to finance organic breeding. This is, for example, the case of organic cotton breeding, in which the major players in the organic cotton industry, in the shape of the Organic Cotton Accelerator, finance participatory cotton breeding in India. This to say that such a concept of value chain based financing is really an innovative financing strategies that we would like to see more and more applied in the context of organic breeding in the European market. Should all the food sector, the organic food sector in Europe contribute with like 0.1, 0.2% of the organic turnover at point of sale into a pool fund, with these resources, we would really be able to boost the growth of the sector in the next 10 years. And this is not only an idea, we already have the case of the Association for Organic Food Industry, BIOFRUIT, in Germany, that starting from this basic concept, it's doing a pilot project in Germany, trying to practically apply and develop a value chain-based financing for organic breeding in Germany. This is basically a call for joint action of the sector, processors, wholesalers, retailers, to join effort to shape the organic sector of the future. With this, I mean that integrating organic breeding into value chain partnership will really ensure the integrity of organic products and strengthen consumers' confidence. In one sentence, organic right from the start, or organic right from the seeds. Thank you. Pierre, could you please unmute yourself?
Oh, so, thank you. Yes, now thank you so much, yeah, Maria Teresa, for your presentation and perfectly on time. We will move to the next speaker now, Carlo Murer. So we keep all our questions for the debate at 4 to keep on time. And Carlo, thank you for sharing your screen. So Carlo Murer from Eco Natura C supermarket chain.
Hi, everyone.
Sure. Hello.
It's a pleasure to be here with you and present the company where I work. Eco Natura C is a 35 years old company. Just a second, I cannot move forward. Okay. It's a 35 years old, sorry for the problem, 35 years old company, and we are actually now the biggest player in organic food distribution in Italy. Eco Natura C was created starting from a farm, a small scale farm in the northeastern part of Italy, and was created by a group of friends that has at the intention, the goal, the objective of promoting biodynamic agriculture and promoting Waldorf pedagogy. And actually, these are still the two main goals that we have in our company. The company is still owned, the majority of the company is still owned by that initial group of friends that 35 years ago decided to commit their life for these two objectives. In fact, the company is owned by a foundation. Initially was an informal group of friends, then became an association and then a foundation. The foundation is still the majority shareholder of the company, therefore is a non-profit organization, non-profit foundation that owns the company. Although we are a commercial company, our life is based on commerce. Therefore, we manage the whole supply chain from farms to the shops. From that small farm, 20 hectares in the northeastern part of Italy, now that small scale farm increased in volume, 9 dimension. Now we have 150 hectares close to Venice. I put here 2 pictures. And the small school where they initially started promoting the Waldorf pedagogy is a school for more than 500 children every year. We have also another farm in central Italy, in Molise region, 500 hectares of biodiversity is a wonderful example of biodynamic organism where you have a lot of complexity in it, many different activities, many different production activities, all of them related between each other in order to create this idea of circular economy, of circularity. I would give you just the brief idea of the key concept of our mission, which is the products we distribute must contribute to improving human health as well as the well-being of the soil and their environment in which we live in. This shows the commitment we have in providing good food for people, which is actually the main outcome of our commercial activity, whilst protecting the environment where we live, the environment where we grow our food, and the health of humans as consumers, but humans also as producers. Actually, when we speak about our system, when we speak about our supply chain, what we don't use is a linear system where you, as it is normally conceived, where you normally have a consumer and producers on the two opposite sides of the supply chain. We are actually trying as much as we can to bring together the two opposite sides of the supply chain, producers and consumers, bring them together because we really believe in the importance of a direct relation between people. You know, all of us, we live thanks to farmers that produce the food that we eat. Everything we eat, almost everything we eat, comes from a farm. So it's mandatory for us to have this awareness about the importance of the relation between those who produce the food and those who eat the food. That's why we actually call our system not a supply chain, not just a commercial relation with farmers, but we call it an ecosystem, because we consider it as a net of crossed relationships. I mentioned before the 2 farms that we are directly managing here in Italy, San Michele in northern Italy and Di Vaira in central Italy. But these 2 farms are not enough, of course, to supply all the products that we sell in our shops. We have almost 300 farms that work with us as suppliers of raw material, of fruit, vegetables, and are farms that work with us for many years. We are not looking every year for the farm that is providing their products for the lowest price. We are keeping relation for even for 35 years with the first farms we started to work with. For us, it is very important to create a long-term relation of trust with farmers, because this is the way we can ensure the quality of the products we offer in our shops. Price is not the key concern that we have when we select a farm. Actually, the quality of farming, the type of farming that they apply, this is the key for us in the decision-making process. And we always give priority and try to select farms able to perform a good quality biodynamic agriculture, even if not already at the point of a certification or Demeter certification, but the biodynamic concept, the biodynamic organization of the farm is something that is extremely important for us. So in covering the whole supply chain, we start from farms. As I said, 2 farms are owned by the company, but we have in total 300 producers that are working with us. We have a team of agronomists and food technicians that are working to ensure quality over the whole supply chain. Each process is monitored very carefully. We have farmers also out of Italy. Of course, most of our production come from Italy because we give priority to Italian producers. Whatever can be produced in Italy is sourced in Italy. Whatever cannot be produced in Italy, like coffee, like sugar, whatever it is, come from other countries. But other countries where we anyway implement a very strict monitoring. In total, we consider that in Italy we have almost 7,000 hectares covered by farms that work with us in rotation, of course. So for us, it is very important, this number, because we consider that through our monitoring of the farms, through our approach toward farming, we know that we are basically protecting, we are managing, we are indirectly managing, we are, I would say, protecting, taking care of 7,000 hectares in Italy. It's not much, but this is what we can do. When we monitor a farm, we don't monitor just the product we have under contract or we are buying, but we monitor the whole farm. Is a system that we decide to work with, not just one field where we source that particular product. We have the 300 farms, but we have also 500 stores. Of course, in between there are warehouses, there are processors. We are actually engaged in processing. We are increasing the quantity of processing that we directly manage. But the other important aspects that characterize our activity, which is actually how people know Acorn Naturacy, are the 500 stores, the 500 shops that are spread all around Italy. This is the face that we have for people. People know us for our 500 shops. but we have also other hotels, we have restaurants that work with us. More and more, we are increasing a lot this kind of relations, because we believe it is important for people that want to eat organic, not just to eat organic at home, but to eat organic also in restaurant, hotel. Whenever they move out of their home, they must be put in the condition of finding this kind of offer, organic food. One very important aspect is the direct relation. I said before, we want to bring together producer and consumer. So one very important aspect is to try to maximize the quantity of local food, of local vegetable, local production that we offer in our shops. So we try in each region to have a group of producers that can supply directly products to the shops. Of course, this is easier for vegetables and fruits because they don't need to be processed. But anyway, we are going in this direction also for slowly by slowly for processed food. We think it is important to keep the regional identity of our shops. We don't want to have a completely homogenized offer of products all over Italy. We are I would say linking this with the project of slow food. So we are trying to make available the Presidia, the products branded by Slow Food in the shops of that region. This is the main goal that we have, to make a very traditional and very protected and very rare products grown organically available in our shops, in the shops of that region. This is just to give you an idea of the look and feel of our shops. The key part in our shops is always the fresh part, the vegetables and fruits. When you enter in our shop, you always find this, because this gives a clear impression of the importance that these kind of products, the freshness of the product, of the vegetables have for us. And on the left of the screen, you can see the bulk department. We are promoting more and more the sales in bulk. This to promote sustainability in terms of a decrease in the use of plastic in packaging. So, of course, we are doing a process of to make all the packaging that we use in our shops compostable or recyclable, but we are also pushing a lot in the bulk section, because we believe in the importance of reducing the impact of packaging on the products offered in our shops. These are some products, just to give an idea of how they look like. I would go to the organic breeding part. So Ecor Naturacy has been supporting Sativa, which is a Swiss company, for more than 10 years to make organic varieties of vegetables available for the producers, for the Italian producers. We have many varieties have been selected. So we are talking of modern varieties. In the same way, under the Foundation Seminare del Futuro, we are working to collect, protect, and revitalize, I would say, the old varieties of vegetables available in Italy. In Italy, particularly in southern Italy, we have a huge variety of vegetables available, and many of them risk to be lost because not performing very well in the conventional world, in the large-scale distribution world. So we are trying to identify them, protect them, revitalize the seeds to make them, I would say, productive again, profitable again. And we are sending directly, we are creating the direct linkage between the farmer who is producing this kind of vegetables and the shop of that region, always with the intention of creating that direct linkage, because this is what can explain to people the work we are doing to preserve biodiversity in the fields. as I said, preserve biodiversity in terms of old varieties, but also in terms of modern varieties of vegetables intended for organic agriculture, in order to give a tool, the right tool for organic farmers, because organic farmers that work with conventional varieties, of course, they risk to fail. They highly risk to fail because they have a tool that is not adapted for the condition they are working in. We are also working in the world of cereals. We are working, actually I would move here. We are working in different ways. We are actually testing in collaboration with the foundation of Peter Kunz, a famous genetist from Switzerland, and in collaboration with the CREAD Foggia, and research institution, Italian research institution, we are selecting new varieties, pure line of new varieties of durum wheat. As I said, intended for organic agriculture with a deep root system, very tall, able to win the competition with weeds. And the reason is that our farmers need to have this kind of varieties in order to keep sustainability of their farms. Otherwise, we really risk to see our farmers failing due to the climatic changing condition. On the other side, we are also working to promote another concept of organic breeding, which is what is called evolutionary population. So on one side, we are working with creating new modern varieties, pure lines of durum wheat. On the other side, we are creating evolutionary populations of durum wheat. These are the two approaches that we are following. And actually, we will see what comes out. For the soft wheat, for the common wheat, we are working to basically testing the varieties intended for organic agriculture that have been studied in Switzerland, always by the genetist Peter Kunz, and we are selecting those varieties that suit better here in the Italian condition. Of course, the climatic conditions are a little bit different, so we need to understand, to screen which are the best performing varieties in the different regions, climatic regions that we have here in Italy. One very important aspect is the foundation I mentioned a few minutes ago, which is the Foundation Seminare Il Futuro. We created this foundation with the intention of promoting this kind of breeding, this kind of research, scientific research, and in order to protect these new seeds that we are developing, they may be vegetables or cereals, to protect them from patent. We are actually using the same tool because we are patenting modern varieties for organic agriculture, but with the intention of making these varieties available for everybody. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have more questions, I'm available.
Thank you very much. We keep our questions for the debate to keep on time, since we have to close after at 4:30. And Carlo, excellent. Yeah, many questions also related with the fruit and veg. Now, so we invite Olger to share his activities and opportunities with solely breeding organic vegetable seeds. And so Olger, breeding manager at the BNN Bundesbahn Naturkost Naturwaren, on the German market requirement for organic vegetables varieties.
Oh, hello everybody. Thanks a lot for the invitation to FIBE to the BioFruit Congress today. It's a great pleasure to me to give this talk now with the name German Market Requirements for Vegetable Varieties Free from Cell Fusion Breeding Technology. Maybe to give a short introduction, what is BNN and what does BNN want to achieve? Maybe you know it, but I will tell you again. BNN is the Association of Organic Processors, Wholesalers and Retailers, and we represent the interests of the organic food and natural goods sector on a political and economical level. I am the coordinator of the pesticide monitoring for fruit and vegetables in BNN, but I also take care of another topic, the organic plant breeding, because one of BNN's long-term goals is to expand the organic plant breeding up to a supply of varieties for all cultures and climatic conditions. So what is cell fusion and the cell fusion breeding technology? I am a biologist, so just in general, cell fusion is a fusion of plasma membranes of two cells. But cell fusion are used as a method to transfer the so-called cytoplasmic male sterility, in short, CMS, for example, in cabbage species or chicory. Mother plants are made male sterile in a biotechnological process, and this means at the end that that self-fertilization is not possible. CMS occurs naturally in many plants, but now in the modern times, it's almost exclusively introduced into the breeding lines in the laboratory using methods similar to genetic engineering. It's not genetic engineering, it's similar to genetic engineering. I'll come to this a bit later. So all in one, it makes hybrid breeding much faster and easier. So to sum up. So what's the problem? According to the EU organic regulation, varieties produced with the help of cell fusions are allowed, and there's no labeling requirement. This is a big problem. Furthermore, the market of brassicas and chicory is dominated by cell fusion derived CMS hybrids. So what the problem now is that we have a big, huge bottleneck for these varieties, since most of the organic labels do not permit the cultivation anymore. And it's for consumers, for breeders, it's often very confusing which seeds were produced with CMS technology and which not. So at the end, farmers often stop to cultivate these crops, and this is a big problem. What is the BNN doing against that? On a political side, the BNN demand for statutory labeling of the methods used in plant breeding and the associated freedom of choice for growers, retailers, and consumers. But unfortunately, there's still not yet been implemented by politicians. So the BNN supports a private sector instrument to differentiate between the varieties. And I want today focus on two of that. What I want to talk about first is the positive list for cell fusion-free varieties. And the second one at the end, the BNN Breeding Corporation Fruit and Vegetable Monitoring. So to bring it all together, it's just not about increasing yield and uniformity. Also breeding goals such as taste, resistance, or food quality, even ecological aspects must be better communicated to the consumers in future. So coming to the first part, the positive list, cell fusion-free varieties in vegetable production. I want to give maybe a little short introduction again. So the proportion of hybrids in the certified organic agriculture is between 65 and 100%. It depends on the type of the vegetable. And at the end, organic breeding often reaches a dead end. It's again a big problem. So the organic farming associations, Bioland, Naturland, BioAustria, BioSwiss, and Demeter, prescribe the use of self-fusion-free varieties. And so I have a little picture of that. There is since many years, there's a collaboration between these organic farming associations and the BNN and FIBL. And we publish a positive list of self-fusion-free varieties. So you see here a little, there's in my mouse here, a little screenshot of the list. And the positive list contains all available varieties of sugarloaf, chicory, cabbages, radicchio types that are not based on CMS transferred by self-fusion. In this way, varieties that have emerged without critical breeding processes, and they are promoted in the long term. And this is important. The list is binding for producers for Bioland, Naturland, Demeter, BioAustria, and BioSwiss. Oh, forget. And it's updated annually and is translated into various languages. So I have a little link here. This is the link to the Spanish positive list on the website from liveseed.eu. But there are also, I think, 4 or 5 other languages now. And you can also download it on our website at BNN. Yeah, coming to LiveSeed. LiveSeed, we are also part in the positive list was created by with the support of the LiveSeed project within the framework of the EU's Horizon 2020 program. So you see all the partners that are involved. If you're interested what LiveSeed is doing, you can go to Facebook or to Twitter or go to the LiveSeed website. So this was the first part. Coming to the second part, this is the BNN Breeding Corporation Fruit and Vegetable Monitoring of BNN. The goal is or was to increase the range of marketable organically bred and officially approved varieties in a timely manner. So the focus is to develop self-fusion-free varieties as an alternative to CMS hybrids. And the funding period is, we start in 2015, and now we have a delongation until 2022. And it was initiated by Kultursaat e.V., Saatgut e.V., Software AG Stiftung und BNN e.V. in 2015. So the whole project wouldn't work without our supporters. Here you see a list of all German wholesalers that are helping us to finance the breeding projects. And to show you only short how it works, we have 19 participants in the BNN Fruit and Vegetable Monitoring Program. And we are 2 parts. The first part is over now. It was from 2015 to 2019. And every participant has to donate 0.015% of the annual turnover with organic fruit and vegetables. And in the second period, it was a bit less, from 2020 to 2022. They have to donate 0.007% of their annual turnover. So altogether, by the end of 2022, over 500,000 euro will be made available directly for the ecological breeding projects. So coming to the end of my presentation, maybe you want to see what is the output of the project, what happened until now. Until 2019, 3 breeding projects were successfully completed. This is a broccoli called Rasmus, a chicory called Etardo, and a cucumber called Cleofa. All varieties have a variety approval, and seeds are already available, and all are self-fusion free. And for all varieties, there are hardly any open pollinated ecological bred alternatives to common hybrid varieties on the market. So I have some pictures for you. This is the broccoli Rasmus. This is the chicory Itado, and this is cucumber Cleofa. And the project should stop in 2019, but they are still open projects. And last year we decided, or we discussed if we want to make a prolongation or not. And all our partners said no. It's we have a lot of varieties in the pipeline. We should bring it to an end. So they decide to give more money for the next 2 years. So by 2022, this is the end of my talk. A further 9 varieties will be developed to market readiness. For example, I like it very much, a yellow-fruited courgette and a cauliflower called Selma Grando. So this is the last slide, and I want to say thank you to you and thanks for your attention. And yeah.
Thank you very much, Holger, in just 15 minutes clearly explaining what are self-fusion free varieties, their benefit, and why to push for this program. We hope that big vegetable seed companies and fruit also selection nurseries to join the program in the future. We see Vitalis part of Enzazaden on the program. That's pleased to see. Vitalis is now our next speaker. So Christoph Forschinger, you are the regional and German market manager of Vitalis. So now you have the next 15 minutes for you before the debate, giving success stories with new organic varieties and consumer brands. And what are the development programs at Vitalis and Enzazaden. So now you can share your screen. Christoph.
Yes, thank you, Pierre. Thanks a lot for the invitation. Also, it's a pleasure for me to join. Could you please let me know if you see already the screen?
Not yet. Very nice to see that your sunny garden is very sunny in Germany now. Yes.
Sorry. You can see the screen?
Super.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks you. Again, thanks a lot for the invitation, Pierre. It's really honest for me to join here to speak about Vitalis. So Vitalis is a organic breeding company. He's taking care of vegetable breeding. And maybe also a short introduction to my person. My name is Christoph Lörchinger. I'm located in Germany. I'm responsible for I'm general manager here for the German entity. And my second role is also I'm taking care for the West European sales of Vitalis. This is also the reason why I'm here in this session. When we are starting and speaking about Vitalis, I would like to start with this slide. Vitalis is located in the mid of the center of the Netherlands. It is in the province of Gelderland, and what we can say is that location is the small village is called Forst. That location we started already 26 years ago with organic breeding. So this was quite entrepreneurial at that moment, and the core business of Vitalis is really breeding, selecting organic varieties, and also producing seeds all over the world for the best qualities for our customers, and then of course also to sell and commercialize it. What you can see here with the blue squares is these are our commercial entities, and you can see already that we are able to spread or to tackle the organic market all over the world, which is of course very good when you are speaking to a salesperson like I am. A little bit to the assortment of Vitalis. We are active in 20 crops. That means we are offering 20 crops also in organic seed quality, and we are offering, out of these 20 crops, we are offering approximately 300 varieties. When we are speaking about food market demands, I have already heard several several statements today. And I have to say also here in my collection of the market demands, this already I heard. And for us, it is this list I have done here. This is not by far not complete, but this is just a selection. But I would like to tell you this for this market demands, this is really our guideline, how we are going in the direction of breeding. So this is really, these demands are leading our activities in breeding. And out of this, we are really giving them also our breeding targets. And of course, I could give for each of these criteria, I could very huge examples also. But just to mention one, just because I just heard Holger in the presentation, non-GMO, I heard also today, but also here breeding technologies. This is also exactly what we are taking care of. We have a very close eye on the organic market, and also here we think that we are fulfilling also the needs for this. No low and no pesticides. This is of course also very important for us, and also especially when you're speaking to a breeder, this is of course we have a huge toolbox also with regards to resistances, and therefore I think we can tackle also very good these food and these food market demands. Just to mention the last one, this is then the flavor also here. I'm just thinking about tomatoes. Of course, there is a huge range of types of tomatoes, and if you are as a consumer, put yourself in the shoes of a consumer, for sure you observe also different tastes, and this is also where we are very strong active also to develop tastes. I will give you later on also another example. But one trait I heard also this today already. This is plastic free, and here I would like to go to a little bit more in the deep. And plastic free, we do see also as a market demand, and therefore we start also some research and some actives. And the brand, now I'm coming also to a brand of Vitalis. This is the green cucumber. Green cucumber, what is behind? This is a cucumber, which long European type, which has special traits. But before speaking about the trait, just imagine when you are in the supermarket, and you, of course, I think also the purpose of the supermarket is that you would like to prolong the shelf life of your vegetables in the shelf. And when you're in the example of cucumbers, when the cucumber is stored too long, and of course you are losing texture, the crispness is gone, and if you're storing too long, it's not even green, then it's getting yellow. And the answer of the supermarkets is just wrap it in plastics, put it in, and wrapped it in plastic. And of course, this is not which meets the consumer's needs and demands. So therefore, we investigated. And what we have developed is we have developed the genetic, which is prolonging the shelf life, and this is then also helping the supermarkets, or let's say the complete food chain, to reduce plastic weight. Here you can see the 5 varieties which are currently marketed especially in the south of Europe. And when we're going a little bit more deep, I can show you also research which was done at the University of Almeria. And this says here that when you are looking here to the left, you can see the percentage of probability of marketability. And when you're looking to the bottom, you can see the days after harvest. And you can see here after 6, 7, or 8 days. So the quality of this cucumber, or the quality of the cucumber, also the standard, is quite good. So you can sell it, you can consume it. It's perfect. But when you're coming to the days of 9, 10, and 11 days, you already see that of the standard variety, the shelf life is going down. But you can see also clearly that the other 2 varieties, the Montano and the Braganza, here we can prolong it, and you can market this 2 cucumbers 2 or 3 days longer, and this is of course a huge benefit. And this trial, I have to say, was done without plastics. So this is really plastic-free trials. So therefore, you can see really the benefit of this added genetics. Another example what I would like to give you is the story of Orange Summer, which is an Hokkaido type. And I have chosen this example really by purpose, because I think I do think that especially the pumpkin is really also a great success story in the organic market. Nowadays, when you're looking at least in the Northern European supermarkets, you can find pumpkins everywhere. But this was for sure not the case when you were at the 10 years ago or 15 years ago in the supermarket. It was really difficult to find pumpkins, also here these Hokkaido types. And when you really were at you really would like to buy one, you had to go to the organic food chain. And so this is also a nice example of diversity that also some of the organic segments are really going also then in the supermarkets with a broad aspect. And to describe a little bit Orange Summer, it is a good yielding variety, which is of course a very important factor for our customers, for our professional growers. It is also a good storability. This is already also proven. We have this is a very it can be produced worldwide. So this is also what I heard already in this session. This is also asked for organic varieties, that you really have resilient genetics, which can be also used very broad, and you can deal with different circumstances. This is also exactly what when we are speaking about Orange Summer. We started the breeding in West Europe. Now it can be also used in Spain, and since a couple of years we have also producers, for example, in South Africa. So it really, you really see the huge range of organic where it can be performed. And this offers then also for the chain a year-round supply with this product. And also here it is mentioned excellent taste. And also here I would like to give you a little bit more details, and I would like to show you some parts of our research. When we are speaking about taste in the pumpkins, then sugar is a very important one. And especially here, the three kind of tastes, which is glucose, fructose, and sucrose. These are the three kind of sugars, which we call together we call it the Brix content. And this was analyzed in Orange Summer, but also in the standard. And our research really digged into this topic, and there is for these researchers, there is some sweetness index, how they call it, and what they have said is the sweetness index of Orange Summer is much higher than in the standard, as you can see here on the right hand side bar, and this is then also then a kind of a consumer perception. When we're going a little bit further, then you see already that when by storing the pumpkin, the starch is changing also again to sugar, and very important is also the sucrose. And you see already here with the comparison to two varieties. This one side is the Orange Summer, on the other hand side is the standard. And when we have done the analysis during the harvest, 1 month after harvest, 1 month after harvesting, that means 1 month storage and 3 month storage. And you can see already also here that the sugar content is even more increasing, which is also very nice for the consumer. And we have done also some test panels, also here, also in Germany, but also in the Netherlands. And the feedback of our test panels with the consumer panels was set with regards to Orange Summer. It's really a sweet taste similar to chestnut. It is thick, creamy, and melting in mouth texture. So whatever this means, but I think it really sounds good. And my advice would be, when you ever have the opportunity to look for Orange Summer, please take it and enjoy. Coming back, then I'm also at the end of my presentation. What I would like to my idea was really here to present. I would like to show you two examples. The one was the green cumber. The other part was the Orange Summer. Two examples to show you how Vitalis is tackling the care of the organic consumer demands. And what I have to say, and this is really a statement, we are developing and producing seeds for resilient and robust varieties, which are performing also under low input conditions to meet the requirements of our professional organic growers all over the globe. This is really a statement, and this is always done in respect with the biological processes. And therefore, I would like to end with my latest slide, which says, and also this statement I have already heard today is organic production starts with organic seeds. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much, Christoph, for in just 15 minutes here explaining all your process of coming up today with a maybe I understand to be the biggest portfolio for commercial organic vegetable varieties on the market. For sure, you show the way for your competitors and the supermarkets to promote breaded varieties with even more added value than conventional specialty varieties. Before I ask my questions, I have a question from the public, from the audience. Christoph, actually an importer, the major importer of vegetables in Dubai, who they also started a small import program of organic vegetables to supply restaurant and supermarket. But they were very serious about this pumpkin variety, so rare. They don't have such red and nice varieties on the market. You know, in Middle East, Asia, the eye is even more important than how they can find it. Who is producing it in winter now in large scale? That in Spain or Italy that could ship some consistent volumes. They're having a butternut program, they say, but not yet. Only for Halloween pumpkins type of. Which is a year-long program. Yeah.
My recommendation would be just get in contact with me, and I will forward the right addresses.
Okay, super.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, and now I'm coming to by order of the speaker, a first question to Maria Teresa. So, on the with the institutions and also financially speaking, which any incentive planned within the future EU regulations for organic agriculture starting in January 2021? Are there including support financial incentive to develop organic breeding, and which type of incentive?
Thank you for the question, Pierre. The new organic regulation has been postponed of 1 year, so it will entry in force in 2022. Yet there is a big window of opportunity actually for the growth of the organic seed and breeding market. Regarding the organic seed market, actually in the new organic regulation, there is the phasing out of the use of conventional reproduced non-treated seeds in a time span of 15 years, which means that this phasing out is going to be a great opportunity for the growth of the organic seed market. On the other side, on the values on the introductory part of the new organic regulations in the objectives, it's clearly stated that organic agriculture should increase agrobiodiversity and that organic farmers should use organic varieties suitable for organic conditions. And there is also the introduction of the term of organic heterogeneous material. This means that these two approaches, the phasing out of the derogations for conventional non-treated seed usage and the strong promotion of organic varieties and organic heterogeneous material really places us in a momentum in which we can really make the sector grow. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Maria Teresa. Before I make another questions I prepared. I have a question from the audience. Just came, so I will make possibly to all Olga who have a longer experience with organic breeding. One audience is asking don't you think on the long term, in 10, 15 years, will there be rather a convergence of conventional and organic breeding being finally the same criteria and technology, attending that the market trends of towards zero residue demand, market growth, and organic market growth as well? Could we imagine after this next 10, 15 years program, a conversion for the following program, not the next, the following program, a conversion of conventional and organic breeding with the same criteria and objectives?
You mean after our BNN breeding project?
In the long term.
In the long term.
In the long term, probably since the market more and more requires zero residue, maybe in 10, 15 years, market will only require zero residue varieties. So basically,
so we decided to end our breeding project at the end of 2022, but as I talked to our partners and the wholesalers, they start to support the BioFruit company. That is quite new. Maybe you heard before from it. It's the platform with the most important breeding companies in Europe, and they want to increase awareness of organic farming, for example, and because they are after 5 years or 10 years, BNN supported the breeding. We decided to go a bit outside and bring it maybe to BioFruit or other companies, but we decide also to be more an intermediary between breeders and wholesalers. But also we start to talk with Bingenheimer again on Kultursat and to look what we can do in future. Yeah.
Pierre, may I take a statement on the question which we got from the audience?
Yes.
So in the future, there will be certainly a strong focus from the conventional sector towards cultivars which can be placed in integrated management systems for the reduction of pesticide and agrochemicals in general. Yet, there are fundamental reasons why the organic sector needs specific organic breeding. And that has to do also much with the concepts that are applied. And organic breeding really consider complex interactions with the environment, which means that organic breeding focuses very much in research specific to develop cultivars adapted for very complex systems like agroforestry, like mixing cropping. Organic breeding really also focuses on breeding, for example, for plant microbiome interaction. And the way on which certain questions, for example, the reduction of pesticide, its approach can be also on very different levels. Of course, there will be also some common levels. For example, much of the studies on nitrogen use efficiency, those will serve both sectors. So we will have certainly some key sectors, for example, the resistance breeding and the nutrient efficiency breeding, on which there will be convergence. But on a general scale, organic sector needs specialized organic breeding in order to approach with the organic mindset the complexity of what organic and agroecological farmers need.
So I understand. So if you say that yes, in some way, so the organic breeding is anticipating criteria that in the future, in the medium or long term, the conventional breeders will have to adapt them more. So this is one more reason for financial and public and community support for these programs, because it's a long-term investment. It takes more than 10 years to come to varieties, and within 10-15 years possibly all the value segments, organic, zero residue, biodynamics, permaculture, and others to invent zero climate neutral value segment will probably dominate, will be bigger than conventional. And in 20-30 years after, we can imagine already after the EU Green Deal, which is imposing the Farm to Fork program for 10 years, we can imagine after a Green Bill, which means by enforcement, the European Commission will require a higher sustainability level of the production and the supply chain. So yes, it's clear. It's more and more clear, I hope, also for our audience, of the benefits and need of financial support. A question to Carlo Müller now. So I understand all your farms are biodynamics, or a part are organics and another part are biodynamic. Could you refresh what are the concepts of biodynamic agriculture, and with fruit and vegetables in particular? Which part of the range of the fruit and vegetables you're selling are coming from biodynamics?
But yeah, as I said, we come from a biodynamic background. Our foundation is a Rudolf Steiner. It's called the Rudolf Steiner Foundation, and everything starts from the theories of Rudolf Steiner. As biodynamic agriculture starts from Rudolf Steiner theories. I would say, speaking about simple things, that biodynamic agriculture starts from a different focus compared to conventional agriculture. Whilst conventional farmers focus a lot on plant nutrition and plant health, the biodynamic farmer focus a lot on nutrition of the soil and vitality of the soil. So everything is intended in terms of feeding whatever is alive in the soil. Vitality in the soil, biodiversity in the soil has a direct relation with the quality of the product that we harvest, and therefore that we sell. We in Ecor Naturacy, we have a laboratory that is studying vitality of soils and vitality of products. We have a laboratory called VitaLab, which is doing the sensitive crystallization and the chromatography. And through these two techniques, we are, as I said, analyzing vitality of soils and of products. In terms of percentage, I would say that we have around 20% of our products that are vegetable products that are certified biodynamic. But this is in terms of certification. But the long-term relation we have with our farms helps us to assist our farmers to move toward the biodynamic approach. So if one key concept is the focus on the vitality of the soil, on feeding the soil in order for the soil to feed the plant, another very important aspect is the structure of the farm as an organism. As I said before, with a huge complexity, many different activities within the soil, within the farm, and each activity related with the others in order to create an organism, with each organ related to the others. And this is extremely important if we want to have an agriculture able to be really authentically sustainable, because if we speak about sustainability in agriculture, we need to speak about an agriculture able to regenerate the resources, the natural resources, able to regenerate the fertility, the vitality of the soil. We need to study and to have to understand the concept of the impact that agriculture has on the planet. Agriculture has the option, has the possibility to be to have a positive impact on the planet, on the agro ecosystem, whilst most of the time we know that the agriculture we currently see around the world has a negative impact. So it's an activity that may have a positive impact. Due to wrong decision, it's actually a negative, actually a negative impact. So we believe that biodynamic agriculture, if correctly implemented, even if not certified biodynamic, but has a strong power to reverse the problems that we are actually facing. I would say that agriculture, the agriculture we aim to should be productive, must be rentable, must be economically viable, must be regenerative, and must be respectful. Respectful in the broadest meaning we can imagine, respectful for the environment. As I said, must be respectful for the people who work in the farm and the people who eat the food, and respectful for the animals. We cannot forget about the animals. The animals in the biodynamic farm have a huge importance. Keeping it simple, huge importance for the fertility of the soil, not mentioning about the relations with more spiritual forces that we can imply in the biodynamic approach. So this is
talking about economic sustainability on a shorter term. Since COVID, how much increased your sales and average price? I believe since the pandemic, consumers are, anyway, most markets are showing this, the increased consumptions of fruit, vegetables, and organics, because they give more trust and peace of mind when looking for good, healthy feed. What is the increase, estimates of sales increase in value and volume with a biodynamic fruit and vegetables since March?
We had a 14% increase during the lockdown period, 14%. And we saw this over the years. Every time there was a scandal in the world, there was a crisis in the world, there was some how to say problematic in the food sector, we saw an increase, because when people are scared, they look for something they can trust in. Yeah. And we saw this as something that come over and over again. When people need to feel safe, they come to our shop. We have invested 35 years on this, and we see the results of this.
On an average, last 2 or 3 years, how much more the consumer is ready to pay for, or is accepting to pay for biodynamics, fruit and veg? What is the price difference between biodynamics, organics, and conventional? And by hectare for the farmer, is the profitability similar, higher, lower?
At the farm level, sorry, at the farm level?
At the farm, yeah. But the consumer, what are the consumer price? What is the average price difference between conventional, organic, and biodynamic? And at the farm level, at the end, by hectare, what is the difference of profitability on a medium term? You do.
But I would say that on the average, there is between 5 and, on the average, because you have different types of products. On some products you have a gap or difference. On other products you don't. But on the average, you move from 5 to 10% higher price. I would mention that we are talking about economic valorization, monetary valorization, but we should include in the picture also the valorization of what is not, the externalities, what is not currently included in the calculation of the production cost, of the cost of the product. Because if that is brought into the picture, then we would see that conventional products would cost much more. We are actually conducting a study on this, on the through cost accounting, on the calculation of the externality and inclusion in the calculation of the price of the product, both for conventional farming, for the different shades of organic farming toward the biodynamic. And we see that there is actually a very interesting, I would say, exchange, no? What normally is considered the highest, the most expensive, it happened to be the cheapest if we include the externalities.
Yeah, no doubt that yesterday we had a presentation of Lehman Nature, one of the two largest organic importers, also Port International, and Lehman investing in permaculture in Spain, biodynamic, and towards in conversion to permaculture. So it's clear permaculture is exponentially with the time increasing productivity, biosynergy, and reducing impact. So once you reach a level of sustainable farming, you're having a positive evolution. So what is your next step at Ecor Naturacy towards to move gradually also to permaculture? Or you imagine, talking in 10-15 years, when we'll have a green bill of the Commission giving more money but compulsory commitments to more sustainable farming? What do you imagine the next step of system in general after permaculture, or you imagine other system, at least for your company?
So I wouldn't say we are moving toward permaculture. I would say we are moving toward, as I said, biodynamic agriculture. Not all our farms are biodynamic. We are helping them to move toward biodynamic. As always, there are different levels of application, of implementation of the biodynamic approach. So we need to take farmers toward the highest level of implementation of the biodynamic approach to reach really the maximum complexity we can imagine within the agroecosystem, in order to make the farm as regenerative as possible, as not carbon neutral, but carbon positive, so sequestering carbon from the atmosphere. Biodynamic agriculture has this power, and that's where we are aiming to.
Super. I'm very eager. Once we all travel and visit your farm. We also international media partner of BIOFRUIT in Italy, and organize another conference with them, Tropical Fruit Congress. Maybe in one of your farms you will invest in Sicily in avocado and mango, like in Malaga, in growing biodynamic. Maybe it's under your plans and secret plans, I'm sure, for the next 10 years with the subtropical Southern Europe. Before this, let's go to shorter term marketing experience to the consumer with Christophe and Vitalis. Yes, but before this, we need to consume even more consumers to organics, and maybe in the future with biodynamics and permaculture products with more large-scale volumes. What are the latest marketing experience to promote marketed consumer branded organic varieties at Vitalis? In apple, unfortunately, two little examples, like Juliet, a great success, but some new varieties like Ariane and specific apple and fruit clubs for based on organic varieties. It's starting. What is your experience at Vitalis with seducing consumers with.
Okay, what is just coming into my mind by hearing this question? This is a new, let's say a brand which is now also we are bringing very broad. This is Trebelli. Trebelli is a kind of sweet pepper. We call it sweet conical because it has the form of conical pepper, and this is especially when you speak about consumer trends and demands. This is really here you have a picture, nice. This is then also that what you can see is this exactly meets also the consumer demands. This is exactly this is what we have discussed later for, a couple of minutes ago. This is really flavor. This is diversity because this is really new. And it's also it is quite easy to eat. It is enjoyable. So I think this is really quite interesting part. But it's really then for a direct also is also very good for direct communication with the consumers, because when you're just putting this product on the shelf, it is quite difficult to observe. It is also a little bit higher priced and sometimes maybe not not so observed from the customers. But when you have bought it and when you have get it in the organic quality and you have give this to your children, and also then these children are eating this, so I think really this is really this is enjoying, this is taste, this is flavor, and this is exactly also what from our point of view, from Vitalis' point of view, this is really one thing what we really I would like to mention in this with regards to this question, to say this is really one thing where we can really get the direct in the contact to our to the consumers, really to promote this product. Of course, there should be also when you're having this product, there should be also a special traits in that you really can make a story out of it, and this is exactly Trebelli is such a kind.
Yeah, no doubt that the most successful future organic varieties will be the one who combining at best the agronomic organic benefits and the consumer benefits together. And I know the first success stories with organic varieties are conventional varieties that then produced, multiplied the organic way. And we're very impatient to see new success stories with the consumers, and ideally to target first the children, indeed, to be the future consumers of extra healthy and sustainable varieties. Yesterday, one of the speakers, Zeria, was sharing consumer research, and more than half today of the consumers are more worried about sustainability than food safety or health benefits. I mean, climate-friendly varieties. So indeed, this starts with more efficient and ecological farming. And also later with logistics and distribution. And on this, Carlo Mura, what is a share? What is a question to you? What is the share of your sales on the stores and online, on the stores and also on the farms? How is shares the sales of your production between the stores by e-commerce orders and home deliveries, and directly consumers who come on the farm? How is the share today your sales of organic and biodynamic products? 100% is sold on the stores? No, you told you have stores, restaurants. Yeah, for the restaurant segment. So, 4 segments, yeah, of sales, right?
Yeah, restaurants, hotellerie is still a very new department under development. I don't have an exact figure, but it's quite limited. We have 500 shops, and on average, the online commerce represent the quantity, the share of sales equal to one shop. So the e-commerce part is still very limited, because we are actually promoting a lot people to come to our shops, because in the shop, when you have direct contact with people, you have the chance to transfer culture, to explain what we are doing. We aim to bring people to the farm. That's very often not easy to be done, but at least we want people to come to our shop. So we have a project called the Click and Retira, which means click and collect, basically. And people come to collect their product, the products they want to buy in the shop, in order to have the direct relation with people. So the e-commerce is still quite limited in our company. People that go directly to the farm to shop, we only have, I would say, 3 to 4 shops in Italy located in a farm. So that's where we can what we can monitor. Consumers that go directly to the farm, it's actually something that happen not very often, because farms are very often far from cities and not easy to be reached. So our main selling point obviously are the shops.
I'm sure next year or in 2 years you will come. You can participate to the previous session of yesterday on retail with also a more sustainable model of doing retailing, also not only farming and logistics. We hopefully we cannot talk about many things. Just before we can still have 5 minutes more, 4 minutes more. One last question for everybody. What would you recommend for the fruit breeders and fruit farmers with organic varieties to develop consumer bred organic varieties? What would be your main recommendation for the fruit sector, starting with Marie-Thérèse? Any future program to support organic breeding, or only, or is it included?
Not only future, also current plans. Within the LifeSeed project, under the scientific coordination of IFAM and the coordination of IFAM and the scientific coordination of FIBL, actually there is also a network of organic apple breeders. And that's a sector which is still small, but we are really trying to promote. So the project has put together organic apple breeders from all over Europe to really exchange knowledge. And of course, there is still a major challenges in the fruit sector, which have to be addressed. But there is initiatives in organic fruit breeding already ongoing, and financing organic breeding would, of course, also support such initiatives. And for example, also in the wine market for the vineyards, there is also projects related to organic breeding, where the focus is on PV cultivars, the cultivars resistant to fungi diseases.
Excellent. Then a question to you, Olga. What would be your recommendation for the fruit breeders to have successful organic bred varieties with the consumer?
So I told you that we have these new varieties out of our projects, and inside our partners, we have wholesalers that are also producers. So we try to connect at the moment both. So we try to start cultivation trials with our producers and wholesalers in the future. So this will be a nice thing. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, excellent. And to Carlo, this question. What your best agronomic and marketing mix to be more successful with like Juliet, with organic bred varieties to the consumer?
I would say I'm not a breeder, no, I'm not actually directly involved in breeding, but my best recommendation would be to care about the taste of products. The product must be good. They must be resistant. They must meet the organic requirement, but they must be also good tasting. This is something very, very important. People must feel the taste, the ancient taste that you can find in the old varieties.
Yeah, I interviewed last month for our last Apple report published this month on Eurofresh. I interviewed the club varieties of coordinated by Elbe Host. Interesting new varieties, and they have a new organic packing station at Elbe Host, the largest apple cooperative in Germany, and even in Northern Europe, they're coming with more tasty varieties with organic varieties indeed. And Christoph, what would be your recommendation for your colleagues or possible future marketing partners together to promote also with some extra sweet mini fruit varieties? What would be your recommendation to them?
To be honest, with the apple market, I'm not so connected, but I have only a consumer point of view and an opinion about that. But everything what I've learned, especially in the vegetable business, is please have the complete value chain in mind. So really, from the production to also to the shipments, to the storage in the shelf, and then also in the end, they meet also the consumer's needs. So that means really have the full entire value chain in mind and take care that the main topics are covered. So this is, I think, then you will have a success. This would be my recommendation.
Yeah, integrating everything. Excellent. So we can declare the section closed because IFEMA will have soon another session. So we need to leave the line and the live stage for the next session. Thank you very much for your participation and contribution, and mostly for your initiatives in this industry. Hopefully we can visit each other and celebrate on stage in Madrid at the next BIOFRUIT Congress. Any additional questions, we'll forward them to you, each other also. If not, I will share now by WhatsApp everybody's contacts each other. And hopefully we will make soon a new session with FIBL on breeding, on vegetables and on fruit, and maybe on potatoes as well. Thank you so much again. So I declare the session closed, and we keep connected.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Pierre.